so when you're watching this and Elvis is going through all this, you realize, like, this guy was one of the very first real superstars. Like, there was no roadmap. How this guy learned how to behave?
Yeah.
I mean, look at him. He's smiling, high as a kite. Now check this out. Look at this. Karate. The guy's just laying on the ground. He stomps on his stomach. He goes knee to belly. That's legit. And look at this. Claws the eyes and the mouth at the same time. And then they're like, okay, you're done? He's like, no. Hold on a second, man. I got some other ideas. Hold on. Puts his hand up. No. Watch this. Stay close. Look at that. I got some karate moves. It's amazing because all my life I had always heard, Elvis was a black belt under Ed Parker. Because Ed Parker, when I was a kid, was a legitimate karate instructor. Like, everybody knew who Ed Parker was.
In Los Angeles?
Here they are getting ready to come up the stairway. This was the lobby at the school. Now the $25,000 to shoot this documentary. He was going to loan his image to it, and that's really what he was doing here. That's why he's in so much of it, so he could draw attention, get the world to watch and see the benefits of the martial arts. Now here's a room full of gladiators. Again, a mountaintop experience for me to get to train with these guys. I got to train with Bill Wallace for about 3 years, Al Holcomb for about 7 or 8 at this time.
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another video here on Elvis is the Man. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoy the content that I've been coming out with. Also, check out my Instagram. I have posts going up daily, my stories, Elvis facts, all that stuff. Check it out. Alright, so what this video topic is going to cover is in 1974, Elvis got the idea to do really one of the first documentaries on karate. Now, what Elvis specifically studied and practiced and trained was Kenpo. That was a little different than just the basic karate. But when I say karate, you all know what I mean. Okay, so Elvis first started karate in 1960. And if you notice, in his movies in the 50s, his fight scenes were all, punching, all that stuff. But in the 60s, even starting with GI Blues, Elvis started doing karate movements, and I'm sure a lot of the American public was not too familiar with karate because now it's very big. But back in the day, you didn't really start hearing about karate until like Bruce Lee became popular, Chuck Norris, that kind of stuff. Now everybody knows, but back then Elvis was one of the first people to really get it going. And Elvis could maybe also take credit for how far it's come, and this movie would have really done it justice. It would have really cemented Elvis as one of the forerunners of karate in America, this documentary. He started it in 1974. By the time Elvis died, he was an 8th degree black belt, and he had some skill, like he had some moves. Like some of the footage from the documentary that was filmed was Elvis kind of messing around, going through the motions a little bit. He was more there to instruct and rather than give demonstrations of everything. That's why he had other people there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to share with you a few of the things which I've been privileged to learn myself. I'd like to demonstrate, first of all, the power, the inner power called the chi, C-H-I, or the C-I, or in India it's called Dharma, D-H-A-R-M-A. It's the inner force, life within all of us, causes us to breathe. The force, I would like to show you how to use this force to keep from getting hurt.
Elvis actually got into karate to start to defend himself against, the jealous boyfriends, some of the crazy fans that he encountered. But basically, Elvis was a target, from, like I said, jealous boyfriends and this and that. And that was his way of defending himself, right? And he loved the art. He kept up with it. He believed in a lot of the teachings. So there's a lot of different theories on why it didn't get finished, this and that. A few I've heard is that the Colonel didn't like it. It didn't have his approval, and you know, he tried to pull the plug on it. Also, you know, Vernon didn't like the fact that he was spending money and he was getting pressure that, you know, he was putting too much money into this because Elvis paid to hire all the people that were in it, put big down payments on it, paid for, you know, the cost of the footage, and you know, everything that went into it. Elvis was the one that put up the money for it.
Elvis wanted to promote the martial arts and show the world how great it was. It was good for the whole family.
So a lot of people think that it was cut because of a money issue. I actually read from multiple sources that Elvis said that he didn't want to get into it too heavy yet because he needed to lose 5 or 10 pounds, he'd say. And really, if you see pictures of him from 1974, he had probably 20, 25 pounds to lose. A lot of that was like bloating. He would like, you know, bloat up, inflate, deflate a lot. I don't know if it was like straight fat, but he definitely needed to trim up. And he was probably about 25 pounds overweight. For Aloha from Hawaii, I think he was 168, they said he got down to. And he was, you know, far from that, about 20 pounds out. So Elvis knew that he wanted to, you know, that he needed to look good and fit for this role. But in some of the films that we see, it was just like preliminary. You know, he wasn't really seriously getting into it yet. So before I get into the movie, let's talk about Elvis's black belts, when he got them, and some of the times we've seen him in the movies actually perform karate.
Is that your sickle? You gotta stop reading those hot rod magazines, buddy. Sickle is out. It's either bike or motorcycle.
Made in Japan, huh?
That's right, made in Japan.
What's the matter? Aren't American sickles good enough for you?
You don't dig World Trade, college boy, after all the economics they've tried to shove into you?
Get off, buddy.
Come on, come on.
No, that's karate.
That goes with the sickle.
So Elvis, we know, got into it in 1960. He was awarded the black belt in 1960. 1963, he was awarded the second degree. He skipped the black degree, or the third degree, and although he got the third degree from a lot of people. Fourth degree, I believe, was in the mid 60s. Fifth degree he got in 1971. The sixth degree was at the beginning of 1973, all the way up to the eighth degree in August 1974. Ed Parker says that that was like an honorary degree belt. But Elvis often said that if he wasn't in music, he would love to train karate and teach full time. So he was really into it. Some of the movies that you see Elvis perform karate in were G.I. Blues, Wild in the Country, Blue Hawaii, Follow That Dream, Kid Galahad, Roustabout, Harem Scarum, Double Trouble, Flaming Star. In Flaming Star, he actually broke Red West's arm during a karate demonstration. And in Wild in the Country, the actress Millie Perkins slapped Elvis across the face and broke her wrist. So, you know, Elvis was, you know, he had some strength. He was definitely into it. And let's not forget in 1968, that big karate segment that he had there. Like, you had to think, like, people during that time were like, karate? What's this guy doing? And, you know, we see Elvis do the karate demonstrations at the end of Suspicious Minds as early as 1969, 1970. So the movie was supposed to be called The New Gladiators, and it was supposed to depict students in their training and taking it all the way to tournaments. And I remember in Jerry Schilling's book that it was supposed to, the ending they had in mind was Elvis, or a bunch of students at the bottom of a mountain that zooms up to Elvis at the top of the mountain, and you know, like saying, you know, we're starting this movement and come with us, I'm taking the lead for it. But like I said earlier in the video, it didn't fall through. Elvis was having some health problems, not a good place to really focus on this. He needed to lose some weight, like he said, and it just didn't take off. And funny story about this footage. So after Elvis died, it was stored, and actually in 2001, it was found in West Hollywood in a truck, in the bed of a truck, I found out. And it was found with some other memorabilia, and they remastered it in 2002 and finally released it in 2009, and that's the footage that we have now. So it was all supposed to come together. It would have been great if it was done. We do have some nice footage from it, but so that's the scoop on that karate project. Elvis had, you know, he had big things in mind, and I think it would have really, you know, gave Elvis the respect in the karate world that, you know, the fans give him, but the general public, I mean, I think by now they know that he was into karate, but it would have really given him a lot more credibility. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to shed some light on this topic. Share this video with your friends, give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and look forward to the next video.